I'm Madhu Sharma and this is Design Mind. Every episode we teach your mind about design by analysing a website. In this episode of Design Mind, we are continuing to look at Apple.com. If you haven't seen the previous episode, head over to designmind.info to catch up, otherwise this episode won't make sense. In the last episode of Design Mind, we looked at the well-designed site structure of Apple.com and its ability to communicate clearly and create a fluid browsing experience. In this episode, we'll be looking at the techniques it uses to create an emotional connection to its products. We will also look at some weak areas of the site. Let's now look at how Apple creates emotional engagement. The primary way Apple does this is through the use of images, which are often displayed in a large and bold fashion. For example, each product has its own index page that starts off with a slideshow. The photos in these slides make use of extreme close-ups, allowing the product details to be clearly seen. On the web, everything has an immaterial quality to it because web pages aren't physical. So showing details in this way makes the product feel more real by giving a user a better sense of the item. The photos also frequently utilize cropping. This is another clever technique, as the user's mind will fill in the missing shape, which will subtly create engagement. Overall, the cropping and zooming gives the product a dramatic sense of presence, which is dizzyingly breathtaking. The approach is continued on the product pages, where the images are crisp and high-res. They show off so much detail that it feels like you can reach out and touch the items. In addition, the products are placed at interesting angles, which gives them a playful personality. This example goes even further. The product is floating, so it almost looks like it's descended from the heavens. The photos also tend to emphasize smooth curves. This is a clever technique because as humans we are often drawn to curved surfaces. Some pages use grids of photos. The layout is reminiscent of an art gallery, and so the user can't help but regard the product as an important work of art. Occasionally, Apple will use real-life photos. These are presented full screen, which again gives them plenty of impact. The sections drop the text, allowing the products to stand for themselves. For example, in this photo we can see the Apple Watch is for people who aspire to what many people would consider an ideal life. The models are young and athletic. They live in a sunny location and are clearly very much in love. You'll notice that no text is used to communicate these messages. Instead, the user will deduce them by herself, and this increases the impact. Photos are not the only tool Apple uses to create emotional impact, as the copy plays an equally important role. On many pages, such as this one for iPhone, the headlines are written like conversational snippets. For example, iPhone at its largest, full stop, and thinnest, full stop. This conversational style is friendly, while the full stops add impact and emphasis, creating a sense of authority. The result is the page feels like a trusted friend, which intensifies the emotional connection. Normally at this stage in Design Mind, we'd look at the mobile version of the site. Unfortunately, the Apple site isn't responsive, so let's conclude this analysis by discussing some weaknesses. As mentioned earlier, one new addition to the Apple site is this Explore menu. This contains a grid of images that link to various subpages. The Explore menu is only present on new products. Older items, such as this iMac page, still use a horizontal menu to display the links. I actually think this list works better, as although the Explore menu is more compact, seeing all those links can be quite overwhelming. The menu doesn't make it clear what page I should look at first. It doesn't help that the photos aren't particularly representative of the subsections, as they all contain a watch image. Worse still, after visiting a page and then returning to the menu, it's not clear which pages the user has already seen, so it's quite easy to get lost. In conclusion, the Apple site is the pinnacle of how to use emotion in web design. It is a master of using text and photos to both direct attention and form strong connections with the user. That's it for this episode of Design Mind. A new episode is released every Monday and Thursday. Find us on the web at www.designmind.info. Our YouTube channel is youtube.com/designmindinfo. You can also find us on iTunes. We'd love it if you could leave us a review at any of these places. Until next time, happy designing!